Hello, Purple Cult! I am your host, Anastasia Elliot, independent singer, songwriter, producer, visual creator, and wellness enthusiast. I am here with you for another episode of the Purple Sessions, where I am going to be interviewing the most amazing, incredibly talented, multifaceted human and such a genuine sweet soul, Miss Kat Von D. From tattoo artist to model to entrepreneur to former beauty brand owner, author, and musician, Kat Von D is an inspiration to all of us women out here who are trying to do it all. She does it all. I can't wait for you to hear our chat and learn some gems of wisdom from Miss Kat Von D herself. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. There's going to be one every week with somebody new that is doing something really incredible in this world. I hope you enjoy. Hi, how are you?
How are you? Good. Thanks for making the time.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here with us. I'm Anastasia. And
I'm Derek.
This is Derek.
Nice to meet you. Yay.
I love your album so much. We have been jamming it for a while.
Oh, thank you.
And so excited to see you play Nashville.
Yeah.
Are you so excited for your tour?
Yeah, for sure. And we're getting ready to move out to the Midwest. I think the little town that we're going to move to is like 2.5 hours from Nashville. So I think after the tour, I'll probably end up spending a lot more time down there too. So.
Oh, wow. What's it called?
The town that we're moving to?
Yeah.
It's called Vevey. It's just a small town in South Indiana.
Oh, it's beautiful out in the
Yeah.
driving distance from Nashville. So many people live there, and then Nashville's become like such an awesome hub for everything because it's central for touring and such a great music city.
Yeah, very cool.
I'll be happy to have you here.
Yeah.
I read that you're a classically trained pianist, right?
Yeah, I started playing piano when I was about 5 years old, and I still play it till this day, and it's a big part of my life. I think a lot of people tend to know me from like the tattoo world and stuff, but they don't know that like music has always been like my first and foremost biggest passion. So, been doing it for the greater part of my life.
I started playing classical piano when I was around 4, and I think when you begin at such a young age, like it's so infused in the fabric of who you are. It's impossible to ever not want to do that.
Yeah.
Was it always kind of like a bucket list thing for you because you have been so multifaceted in so many different careers? Was it kind of a bucket list thing for you to make an album?
I think for me, it was just, at the time I was in kind of like this unrequited love relationship with another musician from overseas. And he ended up writing an album for me and sending it to my house. And on it, it had a note that said, "These are all the things that are easier sung than said." And so I sat down and I listened to this album, and I just thought, like, what better way to respond than with another album? And this was about 10 years ago. And so obviously, I'm happily married now and I have like a beautiful son, and I don't really think about that person anymore. But I think that's like the beauty of music, and in a sense, it's kind of like tattooing, because these are just landmarks in time, and we process these feelings and these moments through an outlet, whether it's a tattoo or music, and that's part of processing the feeling, and then you can move on. Yeah. So but yeah, that's kind of how Love Made Me Do It came to be.
I love that.
Yeah.
So from being a mother, a wife, entrepreneur, and now a musician, what are some things that you do for your mental health to stay in a creative mindset to not get burned out?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been sober for 14 years. It'll be 15 years in July, and I think that's a big part of everything I do. It's not just the creative part, but like I can't imagine being able to show up and be productive without my sobriety. And I know that's not for everybody. Some people are completely functional and can have one drink and stop, and I will drink bottles of tequila and break everything. So for me, I just tend to surround myself with a lot of like-minded people that are on the same page. And Especially like when the lockdown first happened, we just my bandmates moved into my house and they brought their cats and their synthesizers and we said, hey, like every weekday from noon to 5 we work on music. And I think putting that one foot in front of the other and continuing to be productive, even if it's without the intention of releasing things, I think that's important.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I think people have lost the spirit of creating for art's sake. And it's not to say you have to do that, but I think it's healthy to do that. I mean, at least for me. And there's a joy that I gain from having an idea and having it come to fruition and seeing it or hearing it, whatever it might be. It's like not really about, selling anything, like there's stuff that we create all the time that I don't post on Instagram and that's okay. It doesn't have to be for an audience all the time.
I think there's something really awesome about creating things that are only yours.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I mean, I think that's cool too. And who knows, you could revisit it later and then feel inspired to share it with the world. But I think, I think just for me, it's more being around people that are on the same page, that are going to inspire you, in a positive way. And sometimes that's hard. I don't have a lot of friends. I mean, the small amount of friends I do have, I mean, I have a lot of acquaintances, but like my real friends are a handful of them. And they're also a handful, but but it's like it's good to be around that type of state of mind.
With Love Made Me Do It, did you kind of go in with a concept of the kind of music you wanted to make? Because you're very in the synthwave genre.
Yeah, and I love that. I think a lot of people were expecting me to release a metal album.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wish I could sing like Elisa from Arch Enemy, but I don't have that. So, but I also, like I'm a huge Concrete Blonde fan or Susie and the Banshees and Depeche Mode, The Cure, and like although I don't think we sound like any of those bands necessarily, but I love the soulfulness of the vocals plus the lyrical content. I think that's such a huge part for me. Like I love poetry and even as a tattooer, it's funny, I've tattooed so many lyrics and over my career, and it's cool to be able to connect with people in that way. That's something that I've never done before. Prior to, I was connecting people through art, and it's more on a one-on-one basis, when I would tattoo somebody. And in this way, it's like, you're able to connect to a lot more people in a different way, like, because music is so interpretive, like, when I could be singing about drugs or about death and somebody thinks it's about love. And I think that's one of my favorite things about music.
Same. When I'm writing lyrics, I always like when a song can read and like as multiple different topics.
Yeah.
I never like when people ask me what a song is about. I'm like, I'm not going to tell you. What's it about?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. So when sometimes it's nice to be super specific, but I think for the most part, it's nice to listen to music and have people have their own experiences with it.
When you were writing the lyrics for this album, did you think about like, these would be great as a tattoo, or like, what's your favorite lyric on the album that you would totally get tattooed?
Well, I mean, I always thought it's funny because I talked to my friend BJ Betts. He's like my artist friend who does like a lot of my lettering and stuff. Like I'm a big fan of like calligraphy and Old English and stuff. And I told him, hey, do you think you could write out the words "Love Made Me Do It"? And I was like, oh, I want to get this tattooed. Like, I'm like, or I have to at least like release some fake tattoos of this or some like temporary tattoos.
Yes, you absolutely should.
Yeah.
In the spirit of Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's.
What is the craziest thing that love made you do?
Well, I always laugh just because it's like, when I thought about the song title, it's like, love inspired me to make music in a sense. And it inspires you to be great at things and at times, and makes you want to become a better person and all that good stuff. But it could also make you do some like stupidly embarrassing things or just crazy things. I think when I look past my relationships prior to my marriage, it was like nothing but dysfunctional relationships and, wanting so badly to be loved by people who didn't really even know how to love. And, I think some of that stuff, I guess, can be categorized as crazy, but I think that's what we have to go through. You gotta figure it out somehow. And I used to think like, what's there to be learned from this? I've already learned this lesson, but it's like, obviously it wasn't my time. I'm like, and I'm not a stupid person, you know, I you know, it's funny, like sometimes we can, from an outsider looking in, it's really easy to be like, oh, you need to get out of that relationship, you know, but when you're in it, it's like, man, you're blinded. And I've stepped out of relationships where I'm like, wow, like, I can't believe I let myself be treated like that, you know? And
I think we all have.
yeah, you know.
I saw an awesome quote yesterday it was something like, sometimes the universe throws you back into similar situations to see if you're still a dumbass.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, I've been a dumbass for a while.
I love that. So do you have any pre-show rituals as you're like preparing to go out on stage?
Yeah, you know, someone just asked me that recently, and I mean, we do the cliche band hugs and stuff, but we like to open up our show with like throwing flowers into the audience, and so we're usually backstage dancing to like with like bouquets of roses in our hands. It's actually quite romantic. Yeah.
Awesome. The pre-show band hug is definitely important. I see it as like you're calibrating to each other's energy.
Yeah,
it's like
most definitely.
That grounding moment before you decide you're gonna go kick ass.
Yeah.
With so many different things that you've done in your life, have you found it difficult to keep your audience engaged when you switched so many different creative mediums, or do you think they've all been like, we're down to ride whatever way you go in life?
I mean, you know, I think your hardcore fans are always going to be open to whatever you're into, and things happen. I mean, it's life, you know. I mean, I never thought I would have a baby, you know. I like literally never dreamed of that. And here we are, and I've managed to be able to share, like, you know, open a window into my life for my fans to see that process too. And everybody's like surprisingly very supportive and awesome, you know. Like I thought, oh, I'm gonna bore them with like mom stuff, but I think you know, there's cool ways of doing everything. As far as music goes, yeah, I started writing this album 10 years ago, and I've been teasing it out, you know, for so long that I think my fans were just like, finally, more than anything, you know, just like waiting for an anticipated project. And you know, I think if I were to say it, like if I had any regret in life, it would be that I waited so long to release it, because this album has been done for, you know, almost a decade. But
you're the only other decade weirdo that I've met, because my album also that will be coming out this year, I have been working on for 10 years. And
yeah, that's amazing.
I've never met somebody else that has kept their art in the can for that long. So
well, you know, I let life get in the way of life. You know, I was at the time was filming a TV show, and then I went on a book tour, and then I released a makeup line. And you know, 10 years will go by very quickly, like with that amount of work. And so you know, it wasn't until I sold my makeup line 2 years ago that I was like, hey, I'm done. I need to I don't want to look at lipstick anymore. I want to go on tour. And if I don't stop now, I'll never go, you know. And I'm so glad I did. And then obviously like the whole entire world locked down. So it was like perfect timing. But yeah, I think you know, now I'm just like on fire. You know, we're already working on album number 2, and so we plan on having that done right after we go to tour in Europe, and then release that and go on tour all over again.
Where are you most excited to play?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm hitting all of my favorite cities in the US, so I'm really excited about it. And we do start the tour in Pittsburgh, and then I think I'm just so excited about playing for my friends. You know, I have so many friends throughout the country, and like they themselves haven't seen me do what I do. So I think that's like an added layer of excitedness, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I love Philly, I love Chicago, Texas, I'm super excited about, obviously Nashville, duh.
What did it feel like the first time you stepped out on stage doing something like this?
You know, I've been like on TV like most of my life, like, you know, in people's houses in their TVs, like for millions of people. So it's not, I don't know, I don't get stage fright or anything like that. And, you know, prior to releasing my album, I had sung on my friend's band IMX on their last album. And so I went on tour with them, and of course it was to support them, but I also was like, taking notes, just like looking at, I've been to a million shows all my life, but I love the aspect of production, and I've always been interested in that. And so, I went out there just to, kind of better understand how certain things work in order to prepare for my own show. And I've sang with a lot of my friends' bands and stuff. So it's not anything, for me, it's more just like this excitement to feel connection with my fans. I feel like, I obviously wouldn't be here without them, but like, they've seen me in so many different facets and like different things I've done, whether it was like the book tour or the TV show or whatever it was. And it's so cool to see some of these faces that are like in the audience that like we've basically grown up together, and they kind of know what the songs are about more than anybody else. And I don't know, that feeling is pretty important to me. And then also I love my bandmates so much, they're like a family to me. So being able to like share a stage together is really, I don't know, I guess I'm just a sentimental person, and that stuff just means a lot to me.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Is there a particular song on the album that is extra special for you, or that has a really special story?
Well, I mean, they all mean specific things. Like the only song that we don't play live is the duet that I did with Peter Murphy from Bauhaus, just because his voice is so iconic, and I'm like, we're not gonna have anybody else replace that. It's like if the stars align and we're in the same room one day, that would be amazing to sing it together. But like if Peter's not here, we're not going to sing that song. And I love that song. But I mean, Fear You is probably one of my favorite tracks on the album. I think it's a song about being like too afraid to make a move, and how tragic those missed opportunities can be in life, whether it's in love or in anything else. And this one's particularly talking about love. But I love singing that song, and I love like people sing along to it too, so it's fun.
Nice. Awesome.
Cool.
Well, I don't have any more questions.
Yeah, well, thank you guys so much for being my Valentines.
Yes.
We're so excited to shoot your show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God, we're gonna have so much fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great.
So yeah, we'll see you soon then.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Bye. Have a great day.
Bye.